But before we get started, I want you to know that if you're looking for someone to do handiwork, Shane's for hire. Get it? That's what the video is about today. Stupid puns Konami does. What's up, guys? Charles from Team COG here, and my man Shane coming at you with our
first discussion video we're ever doing.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it.
Alright, so I wanted to talk about this, and we thought it'd be a good concept for a video, because as soon as I heard about it, I wasn't really happy at all. Konami has been doing this thing where they love the fact that they consist of 90% dad jokes. And one of the decks that I was really having troubles with deciding whether I wanted to play it or not when it was released in the OCG was the Skyfang Brigade. Now, Skyfang Brigade is a really cool concept for a deck. It was a little weird because they're all different animals with different stuff, but they really were a cool concept for a deck when they first were announced, and I loved their ideas. I was just having a little bit of troubles getting over the fact of like their design quality, and the field spell's not that good. They're a little inconsistent.
He also hates furries. He's not a big furry fan.
But I was having a lot of problems with that idea, but I was getting over it because it had a cool name, it had a cool thing, and it had some really good cards. And then the newest name was released.
For hired. I mean, I don't know about you, but Skyfang Brigade Hero LaFarle sounds a little bit more prestige instead of for hire LaFarle. But that's what our video is today, guys. It's about why Konami does this, when they do it, what cards have they done this to that's completely ruined it. To start out with, if you guys don't know, the names were revealed today from Dark Saviors. You have the Vampires, the Brandish Maidens, and the Skyfang Brigade. Now the new names is For Hire and Sky Strike Ace is the main monster. So the theme is Sky Strike, which Sky Strike's cool. It's not an entire horrible pun that's put into an entire archetype. For Hire just sucks. I'm sorry, Konami. What were you thinking?
It wasn't a good choice, in my opinion. I don't like the new name. I had a little bit of a trouble with Magical Musketeers from, what were they? Magibullets. I thought that the name Magibullets wasn't too much of a push for them. And I understand that they were like rough translations, but it was also a pretty cool kind of idea for a name. Whereas Magical Musketeers was a little... I feel like they wasted the name. They could have used Magical Musketeers on more of a musketeer-looking deck.
Yeah, that deck was just Western theme all over, and they I don't know, me and Shane were talking, they do these horrible, they try to do puns or make funny jokes, which I understand that the game is addressed over here to smaller kids. It's a children's card game, but over here, like, me and Shane, for one, if you're a meta player, like meta sheep player, like you don't care what the deck's called. You're just going to play because it gets you a win. You don't care about anything else. But like we look into like the lore, the artwork, the name, and then for them to take Magibullets and turn them Magical Musketeers, you know, that's okay.
Shout out to World Chalice lore. Oh my gosh, it's getting complex.
Yeah, World Chalice, World Legacy lore altogether is getting crazy. But to take the bullets and turn them into Musketeers, that sucked, but, you know, hey, it's not an entire, like, horrible pun. Like, Tree Toad was totally awesome, and that's just a one-card pun. Where what they did with the Skyfang Brigade is they took a really cool name that had no offense to any type of culture, religion, race, anything, and just changed it for the sake of a pun. And I think that's something that they should not have done, because that might affect people like Shane, who was going to buy the product to get the deck, but now is not going to do it because Konami decided to be cheeky and put a pun in it.
And I was watching, shout out to House of Champs. We don't really do a lot of shout outs because we're not very popular, but shout out to House of Champs. I was watching his video earlier today, and he actually announced the name changes, and that's where I heard them from. But when he was talking about how the deck, he was going to play the deck, but now that the name changed, he doesn't really think he's going to play it. He thinks... And I have to agree, I personally am definitely not going to play it now, just because the name change drives me away from the deck completely now. It wasn't going to be a competitive deck. It wasn't going to do anything crazy in the meta. It was just going to be a fun extra side deck people were going to be using, and they were going to have some fun with it. But now it's going to be a weird deck to play. You're not going to like calling your card names out. Even though some of the artwork was pretty cool, you're just going to get driven away by the name now. And there's a lot of people who are going to be like that.
Let's see here. There's a lot of, and like Konami does these names changing for a reason. They do it because they have to censor stuff, because the TCG over here, they try not to offend anyone, whether it's religion, slurs, copyright issues. They try not to indulge in that. I guess one of the prime examples of religion stuff is Monster Reborn art. We just got the Lost art, and the artwork was changed when it came over here because of the religious icon. Let's see here. Mech Knights. Mech Knights were called Jack Knights over there, where I don't think that was needed to... That was a translation. But...
A lot of changes. Now, Konami has always been known for changing names. They've been doing their name changes for a very long time. It's nothing new to the game. However, they've been doing a lot of changes recently that aren't exactly needed. They've been doing a lot of name changes that they're just doing for the fun of making puns out of them, and I think that's really kind of shitty on their side. They've been doing a lot of dumb names that have been driving people kind of insane. Totally Awesome was one of the first examples of this. Totally Awesome was not a needed one, and it was really kind of upsetting to a lot of people. Hey Trunade was just a meme. It's not even a good card. And then there's this archetype, and the Magical Musketeers weren't bad, but there's this archetype, and it's really going to be bad, and it's going to be hard for the deck to thrive a little more than it would have been because of the name, in my opinion. There are going to be a lot of people who still want to play it. It is still a pretty fun deck, but it's going to drive a large amount of people away from it just because of how dumb the name is. You don't want to have a deck of Fur Hires. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's not a cool deck anymore. Like, Skyfang Brigade, that sounds cool. Fur Hire? There is a lot of name changes they've been doing. A lot of the name changes they do are mostly archetype related. Like recently they changed Frog the Jam to Toad the Jam. Or was it the other way around?
But I know what they just recently, the OTS pack had Harpy's brother changed to like Sky Soldier. They did that name change for whatever reason.
It's so that it no longer relates to the Harpies archetype. Frog the Jam went to Slime Toad. They changed the heroes by capitalizing them, and it wasn't a big change. Not a lot of people noticed. There was one in here that I found kind of interesting. When they changed, not too long ago, when they changed Nurseburn, or sorry, not Nurseburn, the Nurse card.
Oh yeah, Refusiel.
They changed her into a Dark Lord support.
Yep, they changed. That's another thing. They put the fallen ones. They took the old names and made them a part of the newer archetype. But that's a prime example of why names do change. In the OCG, Dark Lords are known as fallen angels, which that's entirely what they are. But when it came over to the United States, angels has to do with many religions. So Konami decided to cover that up with Dark Lord. So that is a necessary change needed so it would not offend certain groups, certain people. But they've been taking out and putting in cards to fit into the archetype or to take them out of the archetype so they're not abused or used.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes they just don't want cards for... They just change names so that there's not weird interactions. I saw in this list as I was going over it earlier, there's Null and Void. They changed that so it's not part of the Void archetype. There was a card they took out the hyphen because it ends with red. The first word ends with red, and then they had a hyphen, and it's, I think it's Dark 100 Eyes Dragon. And since red and eyes is part of the name, they took out the hyphen so that it didn't relate to the Red Eyes archetype. It's just all kinds of weird interactions that you wouldn't really... They don't exist in the TCG because of how that would translate. But there is a lot of problems with what they're doing now, and they're just changing the names because they can. And they're changing them to dad jokes is all they are.
Yeah, the Skyframe Brigade, looking at it, like there was honestly no need to change it. Element Sabers are coming over in the next set, and their name was not changed. Their names remain the same. So why did they change Skyframe Brigade? What was the reason that they decided to do this? Is it because of translation? I would assume it's because of translation, because I can't find a reason unless they're just trying to be funny. And Konami, I think that kind of shows how Konami America is not in touch with its player base as much as it needs to be. I think that they need to be more. They're not as close to us as a player base that they need to be, because they would know that they wouldn't do these things to upset us if they were as close to us, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And they've been doing better with relating to us more recently. They've been doing great with reprints.
Hearing our cries for reprints.
Hearing reprints. They've been doing amazing with that. And I feel like some of them do watch Yugi tubing channels like Yugi No No, because there are things that happen that they're almost too
precise. It's like not
precise to be coincidence.
One time's a coincidence, but two times what is it? I don't even know the pun.
It's
something like
that.
It's
a phrase.
It's a phrase. Not a pun.
We're not. There are no puns here.
But I don't know, guys. What do you leave your opinions down in the comment section below? Do you guys like For Hire? Do you guys wish you to stay to Skyframe Brigade?
Well, yeah. Well, give us what you guys think. Always, we're gonna start doing these conversations a little more recent. We want to start up with some new series. We plan on doing a few more discussions in the future. Don't forget that our giveaway is going to be at 100 subscribers, so subscribe and stay tuned for that.
You can win a custom playmat with the team's banner on it, made by MetaMats.
Yep. We'll get that made for the first winner of our first ever giveaway. And don't forget to go follow us on Twitter. We have a new Twitter. We'll be setting up a Facebook soon. You'll be able to see any updates we have there. We make memes once in a while, so we might share them on there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Shane.
I'm Charles, and this is Team COG.
Signing out.